you are developing a non-flammable battery
That's right.
for electric vehicles? Or?
It's for across the board applications. So first product actually is targeted at stationary storage. Target could be used at data centers. It could be used at industrial applications like chemical plants, steel plants. Electric vehicle actually is not part of the first application.
Okay.
It's the next generation will be for shipping and also for electric vehicles. This could be used in mining as well.
So cryptocurrency mining as well?
Actually, cryptocurrency requires electricity, which is generally not renewable.
Oh, I see.
So we basically make batteries that's made of inherently non-flammable materials.
Okay.
And that's a key thing. And it's there's no lithium, there's no cobalt, no toxicity. Supply chains are broad-based, and it's also good performance, and also provides a wide duration energy storage. So for example, if people they're going out exploring oil and gas in case of Alberta, they don't need to carry the diesel trucks with them. They can go with this kind of battery, because if you put lithium batteries next to oil and gas exploration, the risk of fire and flammability is massive.
Oh.
So yeah, lithium batteries are notorious. There recently was a fire at near San Diego. You might have followed it. It was a warehouse full of lithium batteries, and when the fire happened, the emergency personnel couldn't go inside. Place surrounding it was evacuated. Hydrogen cyanide was discovered in the air, and more than 15 million gallons of water was poured into it. 15 million, just so it doesn't explode. And there's a story after story about lithium batteries. It's well known that once they go beyond a certain amount of concentration, like what happens in electric vehicles, or what happens with, which is like, 50, 60, 80 kilowatt hour. But by the time you put 500 kilowatt hour or 5 megawatt hour or 500 megawatt hour, I mean, these are bombs waiting to happen.
Oh, okay.
So that's.
So you're going to be speaking, I'm assuming at the technical conference?
Yeah, at 4 p.m. today.
Okay, so
Yeah.
what exactly is the talk? The talk is about this issue?
Yes, exactly. The inherent non-flammability of batteries is critical. So what's happening is that if you look at lithium batteries, they're widely used, and there's a place for them in electric vehicles. But if you want to deploy them at, let's say, at data centers, you couldn't do that. I mean, I heard Minister Brian Jean was talking about data centers coming over here in Alberta.
Right.
Well, those data centers either will need diesel to run as a backup,
Right.
or they need renewable energy, which means if you get a solar, for example, or wind, then you got to back it up with the batteries.
Yes.
And one cannot co-locate lithium batteries next to data center, because if they blow up, whole data center goes out.
You're going to lose all your data.
Exactly. So that's a huge issue. It happened in South Korea, by the way.
Really?
A major fire happened, and all the major applications shut down. So that's a huge issue, especially these days with the cloud computing is a big deal. So that's why data centers are very sensitive. In fact, one of the investors we have, a strategic investor, Tata, they also own a lot of data centers.
Yep.
And this is certainly attractive to anybody with data center to a non-flammable battery. So for data centers, lithium cannot be used, as I was mentioning. Chemical plants absolutely don't want it. Same thing with the metal processing plants. Same thing actually at airports. For example, car rental companies. When they are leasing a lot of EVs, but how do you charge them? If you put that many batteries at the airport, there's a risk of fire is very high. Ports are, by the way, the same situation. So there are far more applications of inherently non-flammable battery than there are for the flammable batteries like lithium. And they have their own place, but different applications.
And for those who don't know, Taka is the state oil company of, is it United Arab Emirates?
No, Tata is in India, Tata Group of companies,
Tata.
right? So
Right.
They own data centers, they own Tata Steel, they own Tata Motors, that owns JLR, Jaguar Land Rover.
Oh,
They're
wow.
a global company, 110 billion in sales. So they invested in us recently in the non-flammable battery arena as well. In addition to that, we have Thrive. capital. We have General Catalyst. We have Tom West here invested in us. So we are a well-funded company out of Boston. And one of our co-founders is professor at MIT. And our product our product has been tested by a customer in our labs, and now we'll be putting it out as samples in the field in January this year.
Wow, excellent. And so what brings you to Calgary then?
Well, it's an exciting show, energy show, right? A lot of people you get to meet, and also there is a very nice application for oil and gas. So, for example, everybody needs carbon credits, and everybody has good intention of minimizing the emission. So, during the exploration phase, or even during the extraction phase, when there's no grid connectivity,
Yep.
One could use this kind of a battery and backup. And if the grid connectivity is coming from fossil fuel, then there's an alternative available as well.
Yeah.
So there are more carbon credits. So we are seeing similar set of applications in Middle East as well, where people are saying as much as they can deploy renewable energy, which is intermittent by nature unless it's coupled with energy storage,
Absolutely.
then that gives them that many more carbon credits.
Right.
So that's an advantage.
Were you aware of some of the issues that we've had in Alberta with the power grid and reliability, and especially in some of these more remote areas where the oil and gas infrastructure is like
I had some inclination, given that I actually was speaking at FII 7, the Davos Desert Conference in Saudi Arabia. So they were talking about some of the issues, but in the oil and gas industry, that's common across,
Right.
because you're going out in the field and doing things in arenas where there's no power, and diesel trucks have to go in, and all those things. So this
Right.
becomes a lot easier and a lot less flammable. So even the oil discovery process also becomes a lot more green.
Right.
Or gas discovery process.
Right. The
Exploration. So that's certainly one application. Data centers I did not know about. I realized after coming here that Alberta could be a great place actually, because the demand on AI, because of AI, is going like crazy. Just as a data point, I heard at Abundance 360 conference just in April, March this year. I think it was Elon Musk who was talking about it, or maybe it was Eric Schmidt, I forget which of the two. Then last 6 months, the total deployment of hardware at data centers has gone up by a factor of 10. And in next 6 months, it's the same 10 again, which means in 1 year, data centers' energy demand would have gone up by a factor of 100. I saw recently an article that in Georgia, Atlanta area, the total demand they expect, power utility expected to go up by like 16x. Because a lot of data centers are going in southern part of the country in the United States, because power is cheap.
Right.
Much cheaper than it's in Boston or California or in New York.
For sure.
So Alberta could be another place, right, with a low cost power and a lot of natural resources, abundant power. One could actually attract those. Because that's a huge issue. The utilities, it's very difficult for them to double up the capacity or triple just in a span of 2 or 3 or 4 years. Right.
Yeah.
So any place where there's a space, there's a ability to take advantage of solar or wind, couple them with a battery. It's a low cost power, and definitely a stable power that could attract. And it's also mostly independent of inclement weather. Right. When the grid goes down and other things happen.
Right. Yeah.
In fact, in Florida, for example, when Ian and other storms were coming in, the buildings that actually had the microgrids with the energy storage coupled were the only ones who had the power. And data centers will definitely need 24/7 guaranteed backup.
Wow.
So this could be pretty good application for Alberta. So I'm glad I came to this conference.
Excellent. Well, thank you very much, and good luck with your presentation, and I hope it goes well.
Thank you.
And please
Thank you
stay tuned.
so much. Enjoyed it.